Hello and welcome back to Mina the Hollower, where today we're starting New Game Plus. And we are going to try to get the other ending. Because there is another ending. I have copied my file again for a reason. That reason being... that's not the file I should have copied. I should have copied this one. There we go. So there's the clear file, and now we've got 2 Game Plus 1 files. But yeah, we need to avoid interacting with a lot of the game if we are to get the other ending. Basically, everything they could complain about you for in that one late game scene, we need to have not happen. Dear Mina, in the dimming light of Tenebrous Isle, I write with great unease. 10 years have passed since your ingenious spark generators brought prosperity to our central city of Ossex. Now their light falters, warping the landscape. Baron Lionel, your esteemed patron, has requested your aid. Your expertise as the creator of these generators and your skill as a hollower will both be crucial, for the issue may be deeper than mere technical faults. We trust in your ability to unravel this mystery and restore the generators. With hope, the Marshal of Ossex. So we can just go straight up because we've already got a weapon, but I'm still gonna go down here. Okay, we can choose whatever weapon we want. While I do like the shooty gun, I'm gonna have to avoid using it for this run because it has flaws for trying to get the secret ending. I've just rushed right into that thing multiple times. You actually can beat the Nether Kraken, but it does lots of damage. Mina, wake up! Wake up! You're still with us. What a relief. How long was I out? Long enough for things to go sideways, miss. Here, Lionel insisted that you take these vials. They'll heal you right up. I'm gonna keep scrounging for supplies. Maybe I'll see you in Ossex, eh? Stay safe out there. You sure you'll be okay out here on your own? I'm a little banged up, but ain't nothing worth fretting over. Come with me. Miss Mina, I'll manage. I will. You're a caring lass, I'll give you that. We actually have to keep on talking to him until he agrees to come with us. Or do we just need him to... Yeah, it says talk to him a few times before leaving him. Maybe... Maybe we have to do a few things. Okay, I cannot jump off the boat. Okay, he doesn't seem to be saying anything different. Nothing else is happening. We offered to take him with us. Maybe that's all that matters. Let's find out. Okay, yeah, we have already failed this run. Who are you? Yeah, up there in the top left, that device. If you are satisfying the requirements for the alternate ending, it will glow blue. It is not glowing blue. I have already failed. So... back to title screen. I wonder if this is even doable in New Game Plus. Anyway, let's copy over the file we just had. I don't like being in the fire. Okay, so the leave him option is clearly not what we want. I can't pick him up. He really wants to keep scrounging for supplies. Yeah, choosing leave him is definitely the wrong option. Let's just peek in here. Yep, no glow in the top left there. Yeah, I have to wonder, is this just not doable on New Game Plus? Because we've got a bunch of things that we wouldn't have in an actual run? Let's just see if starting a new file rather than a New Game Plus lets anything different happen. If so, it's going to make this game much harder. Nether Kraken's got a lot less health. It does a lot less damage. And yet I still failed. So we only get asked the one question. Maybe I am just not being patient enough, and I need to talk to him like 1,000,000 times. Not 1,000,000, of course, but maybe a lot. Okay, yeah, we got the blue glow here. See, that's what we want. So I guess you just can't get this, you can't get the alternate ending on a New Game Plus. That's kind of lame. The ship. I fled down here, miss. Is this your hideout? Not exactly. This is a Hollower's underlab. We can rest here. That geyser will take you back up. Alright. So... you know what? I'm going back to the title screen. One more time. Because I want to actually beat the Nether Kraken. Because what it gives us can actually be of great use. Can we turn off autosave? Probably not. Alright, well, down here we go. Grab the couple bones. I feel most comfortable with the Night Star. It gives us the most reach out of all of these, and reach is important. Though the issue is, during this run, we cannot fully upgrade all of these. We have to choose one that we can fully upgrade, and that is the one that we start with. Well, actually, no, we can fully upgrade potentially any of them. The one we start with, we basically... the choice of which one we can't fully upgrade comes later, actually. It's just a matter of, do I want to try a different weapon? Probably not. I'm gonna keep the Night Star. Again. Reach good. Cool, already took a hit. And we have failed again. Took a few too many hits. I need to not. So, where was this autosave? Oh, okay. This is annoying that we have to, every time we want to try to beat the Nether Kraken, start an entirely new file, which comes with entering a new name. Got a few early hits. Need to dodge in a way that allows me to not get hit by the dang thing. Back to title screen again. I'll delete all these bonus files eventually. Didn't get as many early hits this time. That doesn't necessarily mean we can't get it. Oh. Wasn't paying attention, didn't realize that it could bring the tentacles back together. Oh. I was close that time. Would be very nice if they gave us an option to retry the boss fight instead of needing to do this again and again and again. But unfortunately, this boss refuses to kill you. Okay, I don't like that I've taken 2 hits already. Mainly because I'm only allowed to take 3. And there it is. And unfortunately, you can't pause after you take that last hit. It just brings up the skip thing. If we were able to pause during that last hit, we might be able to avoid the autosave and thus avoid needing to make a new file. Would be nice. I swear, I'm gonna get this. Probably should have grabbed that bone, huh? Okay, there's my 3 hits, and there's the 4th, and that was a very quick failure. I swear this is going to be worth it. The time we will save could be good. And considering the disadvantage doing the alternate ending run puts us at, I'm gonna need all the help I can get. Cool, already took a hit. Dang it, I was like 1 hit away from getting it, and I got a little too greedy. Alright, well, I guess it's time to delete some of these. Oh, you can only delete 1 at a time. Even though it says you're going into delete mode. We're off to a better start. Squandered a little. Okay, we got it, finally. We get 100 bones and the uranium bracelet. Which, yeah, receives significantly more damage, but deals significantly more damage. And this early on, that can help a lot. You're still with us. We already have talked. We've done this. So, have our little drinky poo. Come with me. Okay, and with that, we should have everything we need to leave this ship without regrets. Everyone else is gone. Still feels weird that there's nothing to grab in this particular screen, but whatever. And now we hop in here. We confirm the glow. And because we have autosaved, so I'm gonna hop on out. Okay, another autosave confirmed. I'm going back to the title screen, but not to go fight the Kraken again. We need to make regular copies of our save. Alright, so now we've got a copy to fall back on that is past the Nether Kraken. And that matters. Okay, even with dramatically increased damage, we cannot one-shot the zombies. And I'm not destroying the candles, because apparently if you destroy 5 candles, you completely lock yourself out of the ability to get the alternate ending. Because you have to do nothing that anybody can mention during the late scene where they're all blaming you for all of the horrible things you've done over the course of the game. Even if they're things that other people ask you to do, even if they're things specifically the person blaming you asked you to do. And one of the things is if you break 5 or more sets of candles, it's gone. It's an all or nothing thing. You can't do any of the things. We also can't break any street lamps, but those are less easy to break accidentally. Unfortunately, being unable to break candles means it's harder to find sub-weapons. Which means we're gonna have to play more carefully in a lot of ways. Got 11 jewels, but nothing to use them with. Attack up, please! Incidentally, the first 3 levels in each thing are by far the most efficient levels. So I'm gonna go for level 3 in everything, or I guess level 4 in everything. Because the first three levels up are the most efficient. And let's confirm. Yep, we still got that blue glow. There's not too much risk of accidentally losing the alternate ending this early on, but it's probably still to my advantage to copy my save basically every time I reach a new checkpoint. And let's just confirm. Okay, defeating these enemies is fine. Even though they are, in fact, guards. There's a bunch of trinkets we're not going to be allowed to get. It's a real shame. Gotta be careful not to break those candles. Though again, we are allowed to break one set of candles. In fact, we're allowed to break 4 sets of candles as long as we don't break a 5th. But I'd rather save my candle breaks for accidents, even though I know that, like, if I broke the candle down in the bottom right there, I would get a sub-weapon out of it. And having a sub-weapon is probably better than having no sub-weapon. Still, probably best to give myself as much leeway as I can. Thankfully, that only poked the lamp and didn't break it. And yeah, a sidearm upgrade is a thing. Even if I don't have a sidearm. Really should have used these rocks. They get rid of those guys quicker. Out of sheer curiosity, can we? We can. We can go over here early. I know that person down there would give me some bones, but there are some people who you're not allowed to talk to get bones. I don't know if that's one of them. I'm gonna avoid it. Oop. Just not paying attention to the platform going away from me. About to hit another checkpoint. We still got that blue glow. And thus we go back to the title screen and we copy our file again. I just broke a lamp. Log back in. Yep, blue glow. Had to make sure this was the correct file. No lamp broken this time. This is 2 tiles of fire, but we're able to jump 2 tiles, right? No, we're not allowed to jump fire without using the bouncy things. Ow. I suppose the uranium bracelet does, in fact, have its downsides. But we still got that blue glow. Okay, got him this time. We've made it to Osix. We still have the blue glow. And we are coming up on a moment where it is actually quite easy to lose qualification. This cutscene you have to skip. Not skipping that cutscene gets you the blame of, oh, you made the ribbon cutting ceremony all about you. But skipping the cutscene skips that trigger. And we need to not break any presents in the orphanage, so there's no reason to stay there. Stop, Hollower! Out of my way! No one will stop me from ridding Tenebris of those wretched generators! You think I'm afraid of you flapping your little wings at me? You simply have no idea what you're up against. Big talk for a city-burning conspirator. Such a haughty mouse. Let's hear how loud you squeak. amazed I barely got punished for drinking there. Got it. This isn't over, Mina. Time to fly. Stop right there, terrorist! What was that about, Lionel? Is he trying to destroy our work? I'm sorry you were dragged into danger again. Curse that menace, Thorn. He struck us without mercy, but nothing will break the spirit of Ossex. Allow me to show you. Warms my heart to see you in Ossex again. Look upon its beauty. You've helped make a better life for so many. It may not stay that way, Mina. I regret having to place any further burden on you. Taking care of those 6 generators is vital if we're to make the entire Isle shine bright like Ossex. I trust you can repair them. So, yep, that sure is the game that I'm playing so far. Alright. Let's visit this here checkpoint again. Still got that there blue glow. And considering we have fought Thorn since, and we got through the dangerous ribbon-cutting ceremony. Time to copy the file again. So, we're not allowed to restore the Hollowers Guild, which is unfortunate because it means we can't upgrade our, thing. Our underlab. We also have to donate to all of the vagrants. We are not allowed to get into the music hall. We are not allowed to purchase from this man, ever. The kids aren't here kicking the can, but that's fine. We're not allowed to ever touch that can. We mustn't talk to these children. We could go up here and look in the telescope to get another key. Basically just free key. But we're never allowed to look in the telescope. did not expect these slimes to take 3 hits. Opening this up does get us access to a few things. Could be worth it. It feels less worth it than it is. But it does get us access to this. Though admittedly, basically all we got for coming in here was like 320 bones. A little more once you account for what we get for beating these. And I suppose, considering we can buy Kiers for 300, that does make it just barely worth it. I mean, it does give us easier access to the stuff over here. Oh, that was rude. Thing moved into position to ruin my day. Still got the glow, though. We are never allowed to talk to that golden woman, because if we do, she will claim we robbed her. Rude. Alright, we made it through there. And now that's been dropped. And hey look, a sub-weapon we can actually grab! It's a real good one, too. And we would not have been able to get that yet, had we not used the Kier earlier. So yeah, I think that Kier has really paid for itself. I have to wonder why lowering the spikes here causes these two enemies to show up. Also, I shouldn't have let myself get hit there. But, are we still blue? We are still blue. So let's go get that sub-weapon again. We are never allowed to cut that kite string, by the way. Not allowed. Hey, beat this guy without taking a... Spoke too soon. I was gonna say without taking a hit. And then I took a hit. Really should have come over here for these explodey barrels. It would have helped. We got a Kier back. Always good to have at least one of those on your person. Whoops. So, we are allowed to buy from Poppet, but we are not allowed to force him to teach us to dance. Apparently they buffed Will-O-the-Wisp in one of the patches since I started playing this game. So, maybe it'll be worth it. Admittedly, it's not worth it until I can equip more trinkets. But yeah. As long as we don't buy everything that Poppet has to sell at every one of its locations, we are fine. Got caught on a corner. Got caught on that same corner. Cool. Got myself killed. But are we still blue? We are still blue. Hey there, Outlander. And yep, we are going for the alternate ending, which is annoying because it basically requires us to not interact with a large portion of the game. And I just realized that we can, in fact, get the chest up here quite easily. Gotta be a little bit more careful. Uranium bracelet makes things hurt. Yes, indeed, Outlander, it is very good that they gave us a way to easily determine if we meet the criteria. Unfortunately, it also revealed that you cannot get the secret ending in a New Game Plus run in which the original game, you already disqualified yourself in certain ways. Because, well, I mean, you can't undo that. Okay, let's go ahead and toss that in there. And then we're gonna go in here. Yep, still blue. And because we have reached a new checkpoint while remaining blue, let's go copy our file again. Because with this game auto-saving, if you lose the qualification, it stays gone. And so we must always have a backup, preferably one that's not too terribly far away. Buddy, get over here. Alright, made it across. Candles are unharmed. Thankfully, we are allowed to walk through candles. I don't have any more jewels. I don't know if these candles count, but I'm going to assume they do. Because the whole point of this ending is basically to do nothing that gives you an advantage. So yeah, I have to assume that even these candles will disqualify me if I break enough of them. And sure, again, I am allowed to break up to 4 candles. But I'd rather save my breaks for times when it matters more. I broke a candle. You know what? We've accomplished nothing. I'm gonna reload my copied save. That does mean I gotta go back up here. Really would have expected to get at least 1 jewel out of that grass. We could hop down here, but that would doom us to a somewhat long run back. Though I can only use that once, and there it is. I guess now I have to take that somewhat lengthy run back. And it's a shame we're not allowed to break very many candles, because that is where this game hides most of its jewels and sub-weapons. Which means we are going to be jewel and sub-weapon starved for most of this game. I have no way back. It was blue, right? Yes. I wanted to jump across. I also wanted to not get stabbed. But alas, we can't always have what we want. Ah, but now I'm missing the sub-weapon! I'll go back and get it. It's not that far. Losing your sidearm on death, I would argue, is one of the least pleasant things about this game. That's why it was so good when I got the upgrade to my underlab that made me keep my sidearm upon death. Except, whoops, we're not allowed to get that upgrade in this run. Because that involves restoring the Hollowers Guild, and if we restore the Hollowers Guild, then we will be complained at for sitting back and watching our friends do all the work without even lifting a finger to help, even though they don't even let us. You know what? It's not worth losing one of our 4 candle breaks for. Honestly, what I should do is I should just not go to that southern area with the knight that killed us earlier. Because not going there means we don't have to worry about getting killed by him, and also there's fewer candles at risk of breaking. Well, there go 20 of the bones that I was kind of hoping to come out of here with. Outlander, I have not used any candle breaks yet. And I want to keep it that way for a while. Because if I can keep it that way for a while, well, then I will have more candle breaks to use when it matters. And I have no jewels, which means I can't go any further here. We need a jewel box if we are to get more value out of this particular here. Still got a bunch of bones. So it's not like we got nothing out of it. Still blue. Get where I don't have to kill a candle to kill you. I know I said we shouldn't go south. I know I said it. But sometimes you gotta not take your own advice. We are not allowed to move in the dark. That's another one of the major things that you're not allowed to do that's kind of annoying that you're not allowed to do it. Because, yeah, you're not allowed to move in the dark. Now, if we were able to bring that one lantern trinket into New Game Plus, that would change things, because then we would never be in the dark. But alas, we can't do this on New Game Plus. Probably because I already learned the dance. Still blue. Reached a new checkpoint while still blue, which means... time to copy the file again. Outlander, grave robbing is against the rules if it is specific graves. Namely, this one right here, we are not allowed to go into, and I believe also maybe that sparkly spot over there to the right. File pouch. A nice keyer. Right, this is for coming the other way. Still blue. Still blue plus new checkpoint, as always, means we copy the save, even if it's only been like a couple minutes. Preventing a couple minutes of retread is good. Yeah, Outlander Ossix is a total landmine of rules. It's a thing. There's even a cutscene that you are forced to skip if you want to not break the rules. It's kind of wild. The ribbon-cutting scene at the orphanage must be skipped if you want to qualify for the secret ending. I may have made a slight miscalculation there. Alright, so here we have another rule to not break. Because this lady here, she's not a fan of digging in the muck. She, you know, gotta find all the graves and dig them clear and whatnot. She wants you to do that for her. She rewards you for doing that for her. But if you do it for her, that's a rule broken. You've stolen her job, how dare you? And therefore, one must not dig out all of the graves. You can dig out, like, all but one, I'm pretty sure. But you're not allowed to dig out all of them, and I'm just gonna play it safe and not dig out any of them that I don't have to. Yeah, Outlander, they absolutely wanted to make sure nobody got this on their first run. The Mist Jar is honestly probably a really good thing for us. But I confess, I really rather... I prefer the ability to air dash over multiple tiles. I only have one Kier. Is this worth opening? I do see 250 bones, which is almost payback for the Kier to begin with, and then we can go somewhere else and get something. So yeah, probably worth it. Honestly, in most cases, spending a Kier is probably going to bring you at least 300 bones. Yeah, we get a trinket. Deal more damage when at low health, and sidearms also cost less at low health. I don't know that I'll end up using that trinket, but it's good to have. Yes, Outlander, you are still allowed to sell stuff, and in fact, you must sell at least one thing to the pawn shop. Otherwise, you get got for not supporting local businesses. Those are not graves we are not allowed to dig out. Only the ones on the screen with Mrs. Sophie count. And now we've made our way back here. Having that shortcut is nice because we're only allowed to take the train once in the entire game. And that must be to Coltrane Peak. So having additional means of quick travel is good. Still blue. Back to title screen. And yeah, Outlander, I have learned a lot over the course of my last run. So I am better at this game than I had been, that is for sure. And there's Whisper and Vesper. Not that I'm going to be using them, I'm going to be putting them straight back in the box. Because, I would much rather have reach. I'm already upset that I can't use my shooty gun safely in this run, because what if I miss and hit candles? There's no way I want to use the shooty gun. The shooty gun is so good. But if I hit a candle, then that's 1 of 5. You're 1 of 4. Gone. was really hoping my invulnerability would last just long enough that I'd be able to ignore that second arrow. Yeah, Outlander, it would be very easy to hit candles and not realize I did if I used the shooty gun. So I'm losing that reach. Thankfully, I at least have the reach of this, which is better than nothing, but it's not as good as I like and I'm used to. And wow, that jump was supposed to be farther. Smushed. Dang it. I almost got in. There's no reason not to... Oh, I lost my sub-weapon! Getting it back is hard, because it's nowhere near here. I could break a candle over there for a sub-weapon, but that's a candle break. So I just have to live without a sub-weapon for a bit. I mean, I am allowed to have this sub-weapon. It wasn't in a candle. And that's not one of the graves I'm not allowed to rob. A sub-weapon is better than none, even if it's one that I don't prefer. Oops. Dang it. Yeah, Outlander, it definitely is wise in this run to get used to playing without a sub-weapon, because... yeah, most sub-weapons are hidden inside candles. So, rip sub-weapons. The concept thereof. For the most part. So, that guy over there, we are not allowed to fight. But we are allowed to grab these. So now to just not talk to him. We got what we came for. Yeah, basically, if it's an optional boss, I'm not allowed to fight it. I'm glad my reach wasn't quite long enough to hit that candle. Because again, while we are allowed multiple candle hits, it's better not to use them if it can be avoided. Are we still blue? We are still blue. Which means back to title screen. Outlander, I agree, it was some solid progress. I can only hope to make more like it. And we do need to hit the switch in here. So let's hit it sooner rather than later. Alright, we have just gotten the most efficient attack upgrade in the game. All attack upgrades after this point will be worse. And I might as well just not even use this Kier, because that guy over there, we are not allowed to put a brain in his head. And therefore, there's not really any reason to go over there. Thankfully, we actually can use these mirrors for fast travel as well. Saving us more train usage. I forget. What do you sell? You sell the Stolenoid. Yeah, I don't need the Stolenoid. I will take the Kier, though. And time to deal with another Phanto. I may have taken some fall damage there, but I did make it so that I didn't have to care about this thing for quite as long. Also, if I take another hit, I'm dead. But we got that there. And I think it's time to visit the checkpoint again. Still blue. Not that we would have done anything that would have stopped it from being blue, but it's always nice to have that confirmation. Oh, he moves down here even if you don't talk to him on upper levels. Wrong button. Hello, Annie. Annie, it is going well, though it is about to go much worse. This room is trouble. I need to press the correct button for my subweapon. Okay. Oop. Dang. Alright, hey. Made it through. First try. Not bad. Not exactly a clean attempt, but getting through is what matters. And we reached a new checkpoint, and the thing is still blue, which means back to title. Gotta copy the file again for safety. You know what? We need to do better than that. That's better. No reason to go over there because we're not allowed to fight that bonus boss. Annie, I have played Splatoon 1 and 2, though not 3. And I've played several Sonic games, Though not any recent ones. Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 were kind of my thing, but other than that, the Sonic franchise, I've never been a huge fan of the 2D games, and the 3D games other than Adventure 1 and 2 just haven't been up to the same standard, like, at all. You know what? I'll take the axe. And that is why I said I would take the axe. The axe simply has more utility than the knife. The knife's probably stronger, but the axe lets you do things the knife doesn't, and that my weapon doesn't. So, I could go through here to get that checkpoint right there. And that's probably worth it. Even though I am not allowed to seal the Duke in the grave. Like, I'm coming over here for the checkpoint and the bones, not for the Duke. That was close. I don't remember what the reward is for doing the Duke stuff. I hope it's not something I like. But I worry that it might be the, like, spike shoes. Or not the spike shoes, the knockback shoes. Well, you know what? There's no reason that I can't bring him here, right? Yeah, we just have to not entomb the Duke. So we can bring him along. Shame we can't use this to bust those graves on the other side. Oh, the reward for the Duke is the Proto Spark. But I love the Proto Spark. But of course they would deny us the ability to get that. It's too useful to let us keep for this run. The question then is, can you check whether the Duke gives the Proto Spark before you seal him away? Still blue. New checkpoint. Back to title screen. I don't have the Duke with me. I don't know that I need to, but... Why is he back over there? Okay, the Protospark is the reward for sealing him in the tomb, which means we can never get the Protospark. Oof. That makes me sad. And now we got our shortcut back outside. Now, here's a thing. We can get our choice of sub-weapon here. And admittedly, some of them are better than others for this fight. The dagger is probably the best for damage. But maybe I want the green thing, the mist jar, because healing, good. But I think maybe the dagger might actually be the right call to make this fight as easy as possible. And I should go in with full health. I really should. Be nice if there was a vial around here somewhere. But nope, only roses. Yes, Annie, I am looking at chat. This game, it demands enough attention that sometimes I miss things. I see you asked earlier, asking if I was streaming only on YouTube or elsewhere. Only YouTube. There was a time when I did some Twitch streaming, but at the time it was just a thing, and like, you can't stream, to my knowledge, you can't stream 4K 60 on Twitch. Or if you can, you can't do it with the AV1 encoder, which AV1 lets me stream 4K 60 at a much lower bitrate, which lets me actually do 4K 60. So, yeah. YouTube only for me. Well, oh, I was gonna say took one hit in phase one, but then I took a second. Shame we can't get early hits here. Oh no, it breaks on the head. It's nice that you get an extra hit out of the dagger if you manage to catch an enemy at max range with it. Dang it, shouldn't have tried drinking there. And now we have no heals for the... Well, I guess it doesn't matter that we have no heals for the rest of the fight, because we also had no hits. And yeah, it was definitely worth unlocking that checkpoint, if nothing else. And I'm not going into the boss with that health missing. That is not the dagger. Well, got her. Please keep doing that move. Honestly, the key to this boss, except when it's got its tentacles in the ground like that, try to be below it whenever possible, because it cannot harm you if you are below it. All of its attacks are horizontal. Like 2 hits away from winning. Like I said. Thankfully, we are allowed to grab these. Rip concept of Proto-Spark. But hey, we still got blue. Now to try and get a lot of bones out of this because, well, we can. Every one of these gives up to 60 bones. No reason not to try and get a bunch. And we can sacrifice all our bones and go back to the bottom by hopping in here, but I see no reason to do that. We got a pretty decent run coming up. I'm fine with it. What do I do besides the streaming? I play a lot of games. Dear Baron Lionel, I have just restored the first spark generator, though the fight to reach it has left me battered and breathless. The Marshal of Ossex was right. Monsters prowled the tower's grounds, and the very earth around it was twisted and foul. But destroying these machines would be the worst thing we could do, unleashing something far greater than the horrors I have faced. I also, translate anime. I subtitle anime. We must press on until every last one is saved. And I translate and edit indie games into English. So yeah, I am a Japanese to English translator by trade and a player of games by hobby. Confirming, yep, that's still blue. Thankfully, we are not in the dark here, and therefore this does not count as moving in the dark. We are allowed to grab that. But is it worth 2 keys? Annie, I do have socials, but I'm not very active on any of them. I do have one linked in the description of this very stream, but I am always just primarily a lurker. So I don't think that it's really going to be worth it spending 2 keys for this, but I'll give it a shot. We'll see what we can get. I do like how much damage this thing can do. Beating those knights in 2 hits is not nothing. Does that go all the way back to where it started because it fell? That's annoying. Sir, can you... Thank you. Don't want to have to destroy candles just to beat a standard little zombie. Might as well also defeat that one, because they do stay gone. And since we have the umbrella, we can take that little shortcut. Back to here. And I should beat the zombies on the way here as well. No reason not to. I think we're allowed in here. Yes. Ah, this is where the spike shoes live. Not that I'm going to equip the spike shoes. I'd rather have the knockback shoes that let you run at full speed upstairs. Where does that guy come from? Now. Annie, considering I am not certain what you mean by DC, I'm probably not on it. I think we are allowed to grab that, yeah. It's just we're not allowed to go into the Mina's grave. Oh, Discord, yeah. I have Discord, though. Yeah, I don't really give that out. That is for personal use, for communicating with friends. I do want to get a Discord server of my own up and running. Like, I have one made and ready to go. It's just... Oops. The reason I haven't done anything with it is just because the act of getting it fully set up is... It takes effort, and to have a safe environment where people can have fun without anything being awful or anything like that, you need to actually have moderators and whatnot, and I don't. So, like, yeah, it's just one of those things that I want to do it, but the effort to start it up in a way that would allow it to not suck is more than I want to spend right now. Well, that's not ideal. That broke a candle. When's the last autosave? Probably before that candle broke. Or was it when that candle broke? I think it was when we got in. Yeah, it was when we got in. So it didn't save that we had the thing in our hands. So on the plus side, the candle is not broken. Wow, that was about as bad as it could have been. Yeah, Annie, I am 100% not just adding randos on Discord. Again, my Discord is for personal use. Like, I add my actual personal friends on there. Friends and business associates are who I have on my friends list on Discord, and that's the way it's gonna stay. Like, I'm sure you're a perfectly pleasant person, but if I start adding just anyone who watches the stream, then it'll never end. And yeah, Discord, again, for me, it's for personal use. Now to find out if it was worth it to spend 2 Kiers. Ah, yes. Yes, it was worth it. Annie, I don't know what you're trying to share, but if you're trying to share something just with a random streamer on a random stream, reconsider. I would rather have this than the bike. And we are not allowed to fight Maxie here. Good news is, we're allowed to just leave the screen. Still blue. I do not recall what lives in here. Ah, right, these folks. There's not anything we can really get out of here just yet. We are not allowed to disrobe his nose. But as far as I'm aware, I am allowed to buy this. So now we get to be Green Mina for a bit. And he's gonna try and grab us, isn't he? No, he's not. Fascinating. Going to be careful walking around these children in their game of kick the can. Right, I wanted to go to the blacksmith. We are allowed to buy exactly one thing here. We cannot buy two things. We can buy one thing. Which means only one of these 5 weapons is allowed to get upgraded to the maximum level. And as much as I love the shooty gun, it's gonna not be that because it might break candles without me even knowing. It's gonna not be the Guardian Casket because I don't like it. There's nice aspects to it, but its reach is way too short. Not a fan. These also, the reach is way too short. Not a fan. The hammer. There's real cause to consider it. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and pass on the hammer. Let's go Dread Mace and lock ourselves in. Though the hammer we used to great effect in that one Thorn battle. I wish it was the other mace upgrade that this would be skipping if we didn't get this. But whatever. Locking in. That is our one smithy purchase that we are allowed. Alright, don't we have to use a keyer in order to get there? Or no? That pipe comes from the left. Doesn't it? I mean, it looks like it does. Maybe. I don't know. I think we actually do have to go use a keyer to get that. Just out of a super abundance of caution, making sure it was still blue. Okay, no, spending the keyer gets us here. That's not what we want. Though... might as well buy one. Never hurts to have a keyer on hand. Oh, we are still getting grabbed. But you know what? I don't mind. I like trinket bags. And I don't mind a jewel box. And honestly, another health rose couldn't hurt. That'll be the same newspaper we've seen before. But now I can equip another trinket. Hooray! I'm going to equip Will-O-the-Wisp because he has been buffed since I got him last time. Maybe he'll actually be good now. We are allowed in here, but we're not allowed to take the kid's bike. And therefore, I'm just not even going to go in there because there's nothing to be gained if we don't have a bike, and I don't have a bike. I could go get one, but I do not currently have one. And we do have to give this guy his bones. Frayed, we have to just never talk to. Sec. My TV has told me it wants to update and therefore popped up a thing that covers like a third of the screen. There we go. Fixed. I think we're supposed to never buy from Panino. Yep, do not buy from Panino. So if I can get myself one more vial, then we can get the second upgrade to this. Because that's the other mace upgrade hiding up there. I do know how to get myself one more vial, I just gotta buy it from the shop. Being very careful to walk around these children in their game. I'm not allowed to touch that can. The fact that it's Panino we're not allowed to buy from means we actually might be able to buy the double sub-weapon permit. Not that it'd be much use, considering we have to be able to get 2 sub-weapons to begin with. Okay, just talking to Panino doesn't hurt. Good. Thorn said the generators were tearing up the earth. Weird, because he never even seemed like a nature guy. And those fires? Nobody got hurt. Only Lionel's property. Almost like he made it safe on purpose. Something's up. Primed vial pouch is good. But I don't think I want to jump down here. Almost. I don't mind 500 bones. I need to use the restroom. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Oops. We have the long jumpy shield, so we should be able to get that. A jewel box, not bad. Whoops. I know we could go further left. Was there a second candle here at any point? I hope not. we are not allowed to throw a snowball at that guy. So there's no reason to even go up there. I appear to have cornered myself. Lava hurts. Now, I know we can go straight over to the bayou right now, but first, I'm going to unlock Upper Ossex. Okay, yeah, Will-O-the-Wisp is way better now than it used to be. So, I'm not allowed to do what this place requires of me. But, I was about to say this is a new checkpoint, I should go in it, but no. Because then that would respawn all the enemies, and that would make something else I would like to do harder. Hey, the path is opened. Nice. We need the axe in order to break that. That or the tremor belt thing, but I ain't got neither one. Plasma funnel, 100% yes. Thing's too good. And the seismic belt does have occasional uses. Like, say, right now. I suppose we could have gotten here. Or no, because the rope wasn't dropped, so we couldn't have gotten here from this side. Ain't no rule against visiting a giraffe. Alright, now to sell something to this guy. You know what? I ain't gonna use these. I'll take 1,000 bones. Heck, I'm probably not gonna use these either. I'll take 500 bones. I'll take a third trinket bag, yes please. Nope. I'm glad I didn't actually go in there. I don't want to respawn enemies. Actually, no, going across the bridge is how we get where I want to go. That was less pleasant than I had hoped it would be. But nice quick drink gets us almost to full health. Okay, those guys pack a wallop. And now all the enemies are respawned. No candle hit. Want to get rid of the bird before the big fella activates. one down. Just one more block left to break. There we go. And there we go. But we're not done just yet. Gotta clear the rest of the way. There's an achievement for defeating like 5 enemies in a row using the tip of this weapon. I'd like to get it, but it's annoying. Alright, so now I'm in here just to get a sub-weapon that will help me win this race. Right, we actually have to go back to the bridge and cross it in order to even get to the race. I sincerely hope that this sub-weapon actually will help me win this. Whoops. It's still gonna be annoying, even if we make this. But doing them all gets one of the best trinkets in the game, so I really want to make sure to actually hit all of these. There we go. No stairs touched. We're home free. And let's just make sure we are still in blue mode. We are. And that means we've gotten enough that I am, in fact, going to copy my save again. So last time I went over to the left and used the rope for this, but... Nice. Don't mind having another keyer. Now let's make sure once again that we are in fact still in blue mode. Yup. I would love another trinket bag. But alas. We are about 1,400 shy. Honestly, health roses are very worth considering. Because every time I die, I lose my sub-weapon and I have to go find another one out in the wild. Health roses do keep me from dying as much. So there we go. Except I don't want to take that path, because that costs 4 vials. Whereas this path is free, and that lets me spend my vials up here. Oh. And forgot we'd have to fight this fella. Oh, he is a real piece of work. That said, he is beatable. I almost touched that can. Okay. We've got one more chance to recover my sparks, or I lose 100 bones. Oh no. I tried to get out. 100 bones lost. Oh no. I'm still gonna try and beat him. Because, hey, I can have the final upgrade to this weapon. Not that it's one that I particularly care about, but, like, it's there. Man, this guy just does so much damage. Clearly meant to be fought with higher defense stats than we've got. Why am I going up here? The path to him is from below. I hope I'm allowed to break potted plants. I've only seen it say, or I've only seen it said that I'm not allowed to break lanterns or candles. I have not heard anything about potted plants. So perhaps we're still in the clear. I was trying to get out of the way. Well, I can see whether or not potted plants are allowed. Potted plants are allowed, okay. At least that one was. Who knows, maybe there's a counter for potted plants as well. Point is, we're still okay. His fire breath is annoying, because if I'm not close enough to just run by him like that, it goes far enough that I can't avoid it. Wow, I landed on his sword face first. I'm gonna beat him. It's just a matter of how long it takes. Good news is, I got no more bones to lose. And in the grand scheme of things, losing only 100 is not that bad at all. I could get a cheeky hit in there, but no. I'm like 2 hits away from killing this guy. Or 1. We got him. Finally. And yeah, I would have been able to try and get this earlier. If I had healed one more time, I wouldn't have been able to open that. Hey, now I can do this. Still blue. And honestly, I feel like since we got a weapon upgrade while keeping it blue, especially with how much effort that weapon upgrade took to get, we are copying that there save file. That's 20 bones. So you just come here on your own without me even ever having talked to you? I have just called that I should go in here. Not 100% certain what... Well, that's clearly not correct. I was gonna say, not 100% certain what I'm meant to do about that bush. Because I certainly don't have the range to break it with this. Maybe we can... That's not where we want it to be. Yeah, I can't use it while in the bounced up state. And therefore, that's not a thing I can get without having access to a different weapon. Now to make my way down to the bayou. We are not allowed to defeat the Dugin. I thought it wouldn't start showing up if we never talked to these two, but alas. We are not allowed to fill his jug and give it back to him. which should be fine. I don't believe I cared about what the jug turned into. Actually, you know what? I know we haven't really accomplished anything at all, but this is a new checkpoint. Before I copy my game, I was not paying attention. We're probably still blue? Yeah, still blue. But I had to be certain before I copied over my other file and undid everything I've done today. I feel like I had the the knockback shoes by this point on my previous file. Like, I know for a fact that I did. So hang on, I need to figure out where those are. Those shoes are too good for here. The steady soles. Ah. Okay, it's behind the keyer lock that also leads to the telescope. So, I really should open up that keyer lock because it's too good to ignore. That's a candle. I think we might be able to get away without copying the file. Yeah, still blue. I mean, even if we kept the candle having been destroyed, it would have still been blue, because, again, you are allowed 4 candles. Candle number 5 breaks it. Also, I came down here without grabbing a sub-weapon. So, let's lower that. I can't take the shortcut back, so I don't have a sub-weapon that'll let me through there. I was hoping that the repeated strikes from this thing would do more damage than they do. Or at least hit with more regularity. So yeah, no using the telescope. But yes... we also have to never talk to that clown. At least that's what they say. I think you're just supposed to not hit the clown after they do their surprises. But you can just make the surprises never happen by never talking to the clown. Alright, so now we can fall in here. Get some nice bonestone dust for our troubles. And then that is the steady shoes, which I want. And before we go too far, let's get ourselves a sub-weapon. Because boy, do I like actually having them. And I know I haven't equipped the steady shoes. I'm going to equip the steady shoes when we get to the bog. Because I didn't want to respawn the enemies on the way here. Prime Vial Pouch is nice, but Plasma Funnel is nicer, and Uranium Bracelet is still helping us for now. And now we get to have a much nicer time making it through this bog. Steady shoes are so good here. Right, the ladder is how we're meant to get up there. We're not allowed to take the ladder. That doesn't mean we're not allowed to go visit Pinky and buy his goods. We just can't touch the ladder, which does remove a lot of value out of that Kier block we just opened. But we get to buy a Kier and a trinket. The Spark Catcher is not a terrible trinket. I don't think I'll be using it, but I'll buy it. I don't believe there's really anything to be found over here without the ladder. I mean, there are 100 bones. $200 bones. Okay, the bones we got for coming here made it worth the kier that we spent to get here. Spending another kier to get back there to the ladder, though, that will not be worth it. Zero chance. It's a shame because there's a jewel box back there too. I wouldn't mind having more jewels, but not allowed. Also not allowed to go fishing, so not even going to head to the fishing hole. It's a shame because the fishing rod was a really good sidearm for letting me get heals. There's a trinket there that I'm never allowed to get because it requires the ladder. And now we've got a quick path back here. I need to stop getting wobbled by snakes. Unfortunately, I can't get anywhere else here because no ladder allowed. So yeah, never get to go up there. Apparently we can't transition from that sub-weapon into a burrow. But we can go from the burrow to the sub-weapon, so hello, Yacht Club. Just 80 bones and a reference, I suppose. Yep. And that's a new checkpoint. And we are still blue. I really do like the music here in Nox's Bog. I think it's called Nox Bog? Nox's Bayou? Is it the bog or the bayou that is Nox's? It's a shame we can't have the damage we do to the boss in this area count. But hey, trinket. Can I not? Didn't want to break the candle. Okay, so this is when we entered the room. Okay. This time I'm going to just not try and go over there to the left, even though there are clearly secrets. Yeah, we can't go far enough. And I don't want to break a candle just to see what's over there. How? I wasn't level with the candle, but jumping put my coordinates level with the candle. Ooh, this save might actually be after the candle got broken. Like, yeah, it's back, but... I think, just out of an abundance of caution, we are murdering that save. Know how that put me back here. There. Beat that guy without getting rid of the candle. So actually, I guess that means the autosave probably wasn't after the candle, just because it put us next to the candle. I think it was the entering the room autosave, and it's just, I guess that's the place we're allowed to stand, so it's where it would put us back. I don't like how many candles are in here. I want to defeat these enemies without defeating candles. There we go. The candles are safe. Did I really just come in here for a few bones? I don't see any busted walls or nothing. So I guess I just have to assume it's a few bones. Either that, or it's somewhere where to get whatever's to be gotten. Candles must die, which is not allowed. Thought I was getting the drop on a werewolf fishman, but not really. Okay, yeah, the little swizzling my chain around does hardly any damage. These guys are going to be an issue. I really wish those jugs weren't so good at tracking. That was a candle. Okay, autosave is right as we entered. Let's see if we're still blue. We are. So, since we reached a new checkpoint, wait a sec. There's a really valuable bone to be had if we leave that guy alive for just a moment. Oh, you can hit those while they're in flight? That's very good to know, actually. Especially because it seems to make them not do the big flaming explosion. Okay. Got a key and a tip about the ladder that I'm not actually allowed to borrow. If I go through here, that takes me, to a place that I could have been before. I believe I haven't moved around in the dark. Let's just make sure that the game agrees. Yep. I need to remember where to get the lantern trinket, because that'll prevent me from being able to move around in the dark. Okay, yeah, hitting those instead of letting them explode makes them a significantly lesser problem. Though hitting them is easier said than done, clearly. It's too dark in here. That was a lot of bones. Wonder what that lady's doing with so many bones in her basement. Whoops. I like seeing a trinket. I prefer when I pay attention to lily pads that are about to sink. Ah. It's that stuff. Stuff that sounds like it might be good in some circumstances, but that I never once bothered to even try, and therefore I have no idea how good it actually is. Oh, we've already been over there. Nice job, guy. Whoops. Okay, and now I have no heals. The Pit Preserver is good, and I want it. It's useful here, specifically. So I think now it's time to get rid of the uranium bracelet for a bit. And we'll also buy this Kier. And you know what? It couldn't hurt to buy a plasma vial. Or two, just for safety. We could get another weapon, and you know what? I will. We'll be stuck with it for a bit, but we'll be able to... Well, actually, no, I don't want to sell this hammer. The hammer we can use for Thorn. Because it was good against him. Hey, there's a checkpoint right here. Still blue. Let's get the whip back. I keep on pressing circle to try and get out of copy mode, but copy mode is also a just one-time only thing. That was a candle. So I guess since we reached a checkpoint so quickly after I bought those vials, those were just wasted bones, but it was only like 200. I have wasted more bones. Not on this particular vial, but... That guy almost got me. So apparently the hags can just run right over spikes. Yeah, I'd appreciate if you stay away from the candles, ma'am. There's nothing to the right of the candles. That exploded a candle. Didn't even know those could explode just from being hit. Thankfully, we're back at the start of this screen, which isn't far from where we were. I mean, how could it be? We never lose more than a screen's worth of progress. Okay, this time no candle got killed. And we get a key. Always nice to find those. believe that's the boss right through there to the right. There's still some stuff for us to do around the big lagoon, though. So, the moonlit path here is a thing, though we're not allowed to kill the false moon. But, we can get this. And these. Was not holding... Or actually, I guess holding the button wouldn't have helped there because we'd come out of a burrow. I don't know how far we can go before the false moon battle. But I'm gonna try and find out. Okay, if we go up the stairs there, I think that takes us to the battle. Do I have to actually finish the battle in order to leave? Yes. So we are not allowed to fight that boss, which actually means we're not allowed to get the Nox's Bayou mirror, which is a bit of an issue. But I suppose that's one of the mirrors that we don't necessarily have to get in order to actually access the Astral Orrery. Am I stuck here? Yeah, it looks like I actually am stuck here. I don't see a way back other than going into and defeating the false moon. Or death. Yeah, there's no other way back, so I guess death it is. Thankfully, we'll get that spark back when we bone up. Still blue. And because we made it back to this spot, and have done several things, and I believe the boss is coming right up. Let's head back to that title screen and copy this file. Okay, no, we've still got a little bit before the boss. I did see a sparkle there. jumped too late. Okay, that pops up later than I expected. Why am I even bothering? I can just do that. And now we've got a quick way back. I wonder, can we actually hit this back at him? With correct timing, maybe. That is not correct timing, though. Okay, no, he can't take damage from it. Alright, time to bone up. Nice part about boning up is it fills our health, which I kind of needed. That is a new checkpoint. I don't know that I want to use it yet. You know what? I will. Still blue. And let's go back to the title screen and once again copy the file. Oh, I died, which means I don't have a sub-weapon anymore. Did I just get both of them like that? I did. So there's a bunch of candles I could break. But doing so would be a horrible idea. So it's just boss time. And knocks his beast down. Is this thing the only single-phase boss in the game? Like, I guess you could say it has multiple phases because it has, like, the swimming phase, but, like... That's not a fully delineated phase. It's not like its own separate health bar or anything. Still blue. Yeah, we're trying that again. Also, I only just noticed that Thorn is actively attempting to sabotage us here. Wait a sec, where's Thorn? Is he only there for the first attempt? Because then when we got to the bottom, there was a bunch of shattery stuff. So maybe if we can do this on the first attempt, we'll get something interesting. Okay, so he goes up to the top before us no matter what. Those plants are worth getting at 160 bones a pop. Yeah, we got a decent amount. Mina, every spark tower you repair spreads the blight you've seen yourself. Help me burn them down. What? Why? That's not true, Thorn. Destroying them will only make things worse. They're poison, Mina. Better to see them in ruins than spreading their rot. You'll thank me when the last one falls. We have 10,000 bone stone. We could go repair the train. Let's just confirm. Yep, still blue. And also, looking at the time, I am going to have to call this a stream. So, thanks folks for dropping by to watch and chat and all that. And I will be back tomorrow for more Mina the Hollower, where we will continue to be on our best behavior. See you then, friends.